Hello, namaste, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Piperunner Arcade. Before we proceed to our today's casting session, I invite each and every one of you to check out our Discord server. If you happen to be from Southeast Asia and a fan of Age of Empires just like the rest of us, we have a place for you. To be very honest, I am still learning the ropes of casting, so feel free to share your feedback in the comment section or reach out to me directly if you feel like it. Now, without wasting any more time, let's take a look at today's matchup. Good morning, namaste, salam alaikum, come on. Welcome everyone to this casting game. We have Balthazar playing in the color yellow. Right now on rank 575 in season 6. On the other side, in the color purple, we have Poppypaw playing the English, one of the strongest civs right now, with very strong defenses, very strong aggression. Pretty hard to beat the English right now. But Ayyubids with the highest win rate, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Poppypaw, a very strong opponent for Balthazar, given Poppypaw is rank 10 in season 6. Let's see what's going on in terms of scouting. English transitioning to farms right away, giving the scout more time to go out on the map. While the Ayyubids, on the other hand, will also go all the way out on the map, given they rely pretty much on berries. They have a berry collection bonus. Now, 2 farms built for English indicates a council hall build order, which means Ayyubids can expect an early aggression. Both the scouts managing to find a lot of sheep. Now, given the opponent, Balthazar's decision making here would be interesting because he is not aware of what English is doing, in the sense that he is not sure whether he'll go for a 2TC Abbey of the Kings build or he will go for a council hall opening. So information for yellow is kind of limited here. Now, while you're at the Ayyubids, it's an interesting choice of strategy when it comes to playing against an aggressive civ, because Ayyubids going with the military wing will have access to free desert raiders, but they get countered by ranged units, and English having access to one of the strongest ranged units in the game. Not sure what he will achieve with the free desert raiders that he'll get. Maybe a bit of harassing here and there, but then again, the English villagers themselves can shoot arrows, the only villagers in the game that can do that. And with the double attack from the English TC, any mistake in terms of raiding would cost heavily for the Ayyubids. So it seems the strategy here for the Ayyubids would be to survive as long as possible and get to the castle age in order to take advantage of their strong men-at-arms, or rather gholams. While the English, in this case, would try to deny that, would try to stop it from happening. In terms of macro breakdown, we can see English has already moved his villagers away from gold and re-macroed them to food and wood, indicating that we will indeed see a longbow rush.
Yes, straight.
Indeed, this is the first longbow making his way to the yellow base. Poppypaw having full information about the Ayyubid base right now. He knows that it'll be a bit hard to harass the Ayyubid gold, but Ayyubid is already preparing to make a stand here. Not sure if they're planning to make any units to defend this. We're learning from the playstyle triangle. We already know that turtle would beat aggro, which means the Ayyubids need to survive as long as possible to get out of their shell and go out on the map. A very nice use of campfire to get that extra vision while the scout is going around the base to find something else. In order to stop the Ayyubids from aging up, the English has to put pressure on the gold. No gold, no age up, and even if they manage to age up, they will still need the gold for the tech up to take advantage, or rather take full advantage of the castle age. 2 towers from the Ayyubids, playing very safe. Ayyubids had already taken quite a bit of stone in order to get the emplacements. A blacksmith coming in, indicating ranged damage and possibly siege engineering upgrade to build rams and push this gold. In terms of unit breakdown, Ayyubids is trying to age up as soon as possible. The nice thing about Ayyubid is they have the House of Wisdom, which means they do not need to build yet another landmark, find space to build it somewhere, or risk it getting harassed, because they can just age up from the House of Wisdom, no problem. The interesting question here would be what tech up, or rather what age up option Ayyubids goes for. A fast castle with the culture wing advancement does not really make sense here, because he is not really under pressure in that sense that he really needs to age up as soon as possible and grab the relics perhaps. That is not something the Ayyubids would be interested here. But going for the economic wing growth seems like an interesting choice. The English already preparing rams. Put pressure on the gold even further. Minor raids coming on the other side. And like I said, the English villagers will be able to deal with the camels themselves. They don't need any help. Now, interesting micro coming from Balthazar. Trying to take down the rams, while Poppypaw trying his best to take down the villagers who come out to destroy the rams. Three longbows defending the back line of English base. Camel shelling. The first tower goes down. The ram finally goes down. The longbows are pretty vulnerable here, but Poppypaw making sure he takes down as many villagers as possible before his longbow mask goes away. English scouting, looking for possible escape routes for the villagers, because the Ayyubids will need that gold to produce men-at-arms, get those age ups. But it seems that the Ayyubids would move into the camel lancer combo, or rather the camel lancer composition. Very effective against the English longbow, of course. but very heavy on gold. Puppybot trying to snipe out the spy here. Make sure Ayyubids get no info regarding what's going on in the English base. In terms of vision, Ayyubids is pretty locked in right now, and I think the time has come for Ayyubids to get out of their shell playstyle, or rather the turtle playstyle, and go out on the map now, since they have the tech advantage. My understanding here is this camel is going to find some raids so that the English is forced to defend, while I would start massing up camels and make a counter push. Camel completely ignoring this mass. Interestingly, Puppypaw has already started villages, units to defend the relics, because generally the Ayyubids would age up and then immediately send their dervish to pick up these relics. That would give them quite a bit of gold income, and the English should try their best to avoid that situation. The more gold Ayyubids has, the more armored units they will be able to make, and that is not something you want to deal with, especially until you are aged up yourself. English nowhere close to aging up in terms of macro. Has a lot of units though. 31 to 4. Ayyubids already losing a lot of villagers. So their +9 villager advantage that they got from the House of Wisdom has pretty much been nullified. Balthazar losing his expensive units. Puppypaw knows that Balthazar will come out to get these relics sooner or later. Even though he hasn't really spotted any mosques, so maybe it's a bit of a preemptive move just to make sure that he can defend the relics and pick it up himself, perhaps. Lancers taking massive damage. Even though very effective against longbow, the spears defending the longbow means they won't be able to dive and kill the longbow, and they will just keep giving damage to these two camel lancers while they run away. Balthazar switching to the ghulams. Will be very effective against these spears. I think Balthazar will also eventually go for the Sultan's Mamluk upgrade, which makes the Ghulam super effective. Puppypaw again attacking the gold to make sure these expensive units do not cause a problem for him. Very gold heavy units. If Balthazar is planning to go for an infantry comp, he needs this upgrade. English now facing the aggression, chooses to slowly turtle up, move into their superior farm eco. They're still producing units. No sign of an age up from Puppypaw. English moving out on the map, grabbing those outer resources, while Ayyubids is busy trying to push him into his base. One Ghulam trying to go and harass this spot, but don't think he'll be able to get much value out of this. one tower and a couple of units defending this position. These units will die purely because of the fact these longbows have attack speed bonus due to the network of castles, and they can just kite away. Keep kiting. Ayyubids has finally started going out on the map himself because now he is the aggressor, taking advantage of with the fact that Puppy Paw won't be able to harass him any longer. Puppy Paw has the gold for an age for the third age up. Still not there in terms of food. These units simply diving the TC. I mean, they are third age units. They have the +1 ranged armor, +2 ranged armor. So it should be fine diving the TC, but he's just losing these units because Puppy Paw will keep kiting. And Puppy Paw is just macroing towards an age up. Ayyubids now taking full control of the map. On their side at least. In terms of unit numbers, even though Balthazar has pretty much half the army numbers, but these units are very expensive units. Fully armored, upgraded, and they can pretty much deal with whatever Puppy Paw has right now. So the obvious choice for Puppy Paw is to turtle up and try to get that third age army to deal with Balthazar's Ghulam comp. So he needs to age up and go for crossbows as soon as possible, or perhaps knights. But given Balthazar will keep producing camel lancers, knights does not seem like the right answer to this. So crossbow and spearman comp should be very effective here. Balthazar aging up with, Puppy Paw aging up with the King's Palace should start boosting his eco. The English farms will make it very hard for Balthazar to do anything about the food eco that Puppy Paw will have access to right now. Even though he can try his best to harass the gold, which I think he is managing to do so far pretty effectively. Oh, some Manjanik comes in. Puppy Paw spotting the Manjanik. Balthazar really needs to save his units and prevent them from being slaughtered by these longbows and fighting with the English under their base when the units have network of castles bonus does not seem like the right thing to do. They simply have defenders advantage that will be very hard to beat without a good infantry mass. Puppy Paw decapping the sacred site, preventing Ayyubids from getting that passive gold. In terms of relics, the Ayyubids already have 3 relics and 1 on the way. Mangonel deploys, takes out a good chunk of units. The Puppy Paw, now being aware of this, will guide back to his base while he masses up men-at-arms and crossbows himself. Ayyubids taking full control of the map at this point, going out for the resources on Puppy Paw's side. But in terms of food, English has nothing to worry about. because of their strong farm eco. And now that the King's Palace is active, eventually Puppy Paw will be able to overtake Ayyubids eco, whatever they are getting from taking control of the map and the relics. He needs to save this. Losing this mangonel would be a huge blow to the Ayyubids army. Villagers chasing to take out the mangonel. Okay, quite interesting. This seems like a misclick. People are losing a lot of villagers. Oh, incredible. Taking out the mangonel at last. But now, since Balthazar does not have access to a mangonel, Puppy Paw will be able to kite and again bait him into fighting under his DC. These crossbows making short work out of these school arms. Balthazar losing more and more units, even though in terms of army numbers Balthazar is leading, and even in terms of eco numbers Balthazar is still leading. Balthazar has access to 5 relics at this point and 2 sacred sites. 2 lancers coming in and harassing the food eco. Seems like Balthazar hasn't really spotted this gold vein, or maybe it's a bug with the observer mode. Having a scout with your raiding party is pretty crucial. Another big fight coming in. Puppy Paw trying to draw Balthazar's army back into his defensive zone. Balthazar spots it this time and avoids taking the fight. Just losing his army like that. Back in the base. Balthazar starting to gather stone. Perhaps for a keep drop. Balthazar moving into a second PC, taking advantage of the map control and to make sure that he's able to match up with the English in terms of villager count. The Maritimes diving straight into the mangonel. They need to take down this mangonel in order to make sure they have a fair fight. Ayyubids trying their best to defend it, but losing it eventually. The English trying to bait the Ayyubid army back into their base. And behind the scenes, they have a very, very strong eco at this point. A very safe and stable eco. Seems the villagers assigned to complete this job just quit up and left. What? Oh no. Poor dear. Ayyubids going for the take no prisoner policy here. Not sparing the deer even. Ayyubids growing more and more bold, going all the way out on the map, taking resources that rightfully belong to the English. But the English don't care. They have the farm eco to support themselves. Great micro here by Poppy Paw, saving his crossbows. Probably wants to draw his bills out here to repair the mangonel, or rather manganique. Great micro, but takes the shot anyway. The Ayyubids is not taking good fights with Poppy Paw here. Losing army every time he tries to push. And in terms of army numbers now, Ayyubids is falling behind. Compared to Poppy Paw, Ayyubids doesn't really have a very safe eco here, no walls whatsoever, but I think he'll eventually down those walls as soon as he senses that Poppy Paw is on his way. Poppy Paw, on the other hand, trying to find all the remote gathering sites that Balthazar has set up. Balthazar setting up a proxy, or rather a sneaky keep here. But to what end? What does he get out of this? Of course. Getting very greedy here, very greedy. I think I have a feeling that Poppy Paw will punish Balthazar for getting this greedy here. Poppy Paw managing to find out all the wills that were on his side of the map at least. While Balthazar getting some good raids. They keep denying this wood line. Incredible. Poppy Paw turtling up further. Going out on the map for a bit to make sure that Balthazar's greed is punished, but here getting caught out by the Ayyubids army. Getting a surround on those crossbows. Everything gets eliminated here. Poppy Paw calling his military back in the middle. Perhaps preparing for a big defense. The Ayyubids eco scaling further. Ayyubids now having successfully transitioned into the farming eco will not have to worry too much about food. And having access to 5 relics has a decent gold income as well. Look at that army. 66 units, 2 mangonels in that. Manganique, excuse me. A few horsemen trying to distract the English army, while the main army takes the fight in the middle. I think the English made 2 springles as well. Okay, the English aging up with the Berkshire will make it hard for the Ayyubids army to straight up walk into the English base, but no problem. Where are the gold wells? Okay, the Ayyubids putting a keep here to make sure this gold is not harassed. Oh no, Ayyubids lost both their mangonels. They're fighting under the Berkshire. This is problematic. The Ayyubids don't have the plus 2 ranged attack. It seems like an oversight, given they have switched to a crossbow man at arms combo. The Ayyub is now macroing towards an age up. Ayyubids now forced to fall back into the base. Well, this proxy mining camp, rather the lumber camp, being a bit of a pain for Puppy Ball, so he deploys a cannon to take out this annoying little tower. Without the tower, the ski becomes useless because it has no vision, so it won't fire on the wood line. Taking advantage of being the defender here, I shall be able to take out this army no problem. But now the Ayyubids are on the back foot. The Ayyubids being forced to make more and more units, which means they cannot age up anytime soon. But in terms of eco, the English has a lot of gold income here and compared to the Ayyubids. In terms of food eco, they are, I would say, at par. This has been an interesting tug of war, with no obvious winners yet. The game can turn to any side at any point. One mistake and the players will pay a hefty cost for it, because this game has been very interesting so far. The cannon now trying to take down the keep. The villagers trying to go for the cannon will instantly die to the Berkshire. The Ayyubids, knowing that the English army is at their doorsteps, would desperately want to age up. And so they have. Going for the culture wing, saving them a lot of resources and researching faster. Hence they can both age up, have the resources to get the upgrades, and keep making army. Great choice. Saving up the culture wing advancement for the 4th age tech up seems like a very good choice. All the villagers here die in terms of build count. The English has almost caught up to the Ayyubids at this point. Now Puppy Paw knows that the age up has costed the Ayyubids quite a bit of resources, and in terms of army production they will start to fall behind. But this is the moment. This is the event that Puppy Paw was waiting for. Fully upgraded men-at-arms with, I believe they have the university upgrade as well. Oh yes, researching elite army tactics. Putting a forward keep, making the Ayyubids a bit more anxious, making things difficult for the Ayyubids army. While Puppy War starts gathering his, rallying his units to this keep. Of course, the Ayyubids having access to the culverin will make it very difficult for enemy artillery to stand ground. But Puppy Boss spots it and moves his cannon away, even though the horsemen will be able to catch up to it and dismantle it, no problem. Some raids going on the backside of the English base. English moving into the enclosures, giving them a steady income of gold as well. So gold and food both are not going to be a problem for the English, while the Ayyubids has to work a bit hard to make sure they don't lose out on the gold income. The fact that the Ayyubids have access to 5 relics should give them a bit of peace of mind here. Gathering more stone, perhaps for putting forward keeps. The English army trying to dive the farm eco. No walls here. Seems like a mistake. The Ayyubids researching biology, possibly moving into a horseman, crossbow, a hand cannoneer comp. A very effective late game comp. In terms of military count, English is ahead of the Ayyubids, even though Ayyubids has an eco count advantage. Ayyubids also thinking about moving into trading eco. I don't think there will be too much trading going on in this game, at least. The English has already spotted the market, so my guess is that Puppy War will make it impossible for the Ayyubids to trade in peace, given that the neutral market is in such a position that the traders will go through the middle of the base. One major battle going on here between crossbow and men-at-arms, while the horsemen taking out the hand cannoneers, while another small platoon moves to the other side of the map, taking out the artillery as soon as they are produced. Even though the Ayyubids has a lot of map control, English is pretty happy playing behind their walls. Their safe farm eco with the enclosures makes sure they have a very strong eco even if they are locked in their base. While the Ayyubids will have to take a bit of risk here with the trade setup to make sure that their eco scales for their late game. Horsemen trying to break into the English eco from the right side of the map. This one man-at-arm is going to be a bit of a pesky bugger. But hopefully this horseman will be able to take him out. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't look like it. The game has been going on for about 40 minutes and has been quite a bit of suspense, to be honest. The game just rocks from one side to the other. Not paying attention here. Small platoon moving to the west side of the map, possibly trying to get a raid on the farm eco. Not walling this side seems to be something that Balthazar will regret. Another smaller raiding party on the north side of the map. In terms of military numbers, the Ayyubids is falling behind the English. Raids going on everywhere on the Ayyubids base. Ayyubids trying their best to make sure that the trade is not hampered. Ayyubids drawing out a long stone wall. A bit too late, but a step in the right direction. First, Ayyubids parks his units here to make sure the trade does not go on as smoothly as Balthazar would have hoped for. The culverin just chilling, the cannons chilling. At the back here, the English is pretty safe in their little pocket. They don't really care about trade, they don't need trade. In terms of eco numbers, the Ayyubids have started falling behind now, with the constant raids going on. Seems like the English is aware of the fact that Ayyubids has started running out of gold, as they have already spotted the trade. And they know that they are not on this gold mine, and the one on this side has pretty much run out at this point. What's going on here? Ah. The English coming in here, putting down outposts to make sure that the trade does not prosper on the Ayyubid side. With the amount of villager loss and the number of raids going on in the Ayyubid base, it seems like things are not really in his favor at this point. The English has taken taken full map control, or at least all the map control that the Ayyubids would have hoped for. Puppy Paw slowly and steadily snowballing into this amazing eco where it can constantly pump out units and stream them into the Ayyubid's base. There's nothing much the Ayyubids can do here. See, we'll have a really hard time fighting on three sides, defending the raid, and well, pretty much overwhelming at this point, and Ayyubids give up. If you have enjoyed the content so far, feel free to subscribe to our channel and join our Discord server. If you have any feedback that could improve my casting further, make sure to leave it in the comment section. I will definitely read them. Until next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.